Welcome back, Hive Mind. This is Shalazar with Hive Mind Gaming, coming at you with another Raid Shadow Legends video. So today we're going to take a look at a couple of different patches that are coming out within the next couple weeks. The first one is coming out tomorrow. It's patch 3.21, and I think it's mostly going to be a patch based on the Doom Tower, from what they're saying in their announcements. So the Doom Tower, as of the recording of this video, is going to reset in 14 hours, which means that that's the patch that they're putting in, is to update the Doom Tower to make the bosses more challenging. So yes, it is going to make it harder, because what they're doing is they're looking at, in their words, specialty champions that people are taking in to kill the bosses. They're going to try to be able, they're going to try to stop that from happening, so that you have to use more strategy instead of just brute force to kill the bosses. So yes, it's going to make it harder. So whatever. If you're adamant about it, then it could be fun. If you're like me and could care less, then it just makes it harder, because now, being a casual Doom Tower player, now I'm not going to be able to be just a casual player. So yeah, it's, I don't know. Maybe that'd spark an interest for me to actually play in the Doom Tower, because before it was just not fun. So maybe that's what I'm going to need to actually want to play in the Doom Tower. All right, so that's all that's coming out tomorrow. Next week, there's going to be another patch, which is going to be the 3.30 patch. Now, that's the patch that's going to have the stuff that people are really excited about, which first and foremost is the fitting room quality of life. So basically what you're going to be able to do, you're going to be able to come in here and you're going to be able to try on equipment. So instead of going to a piece of equipment and looking over here on the side to see what it does for you, you can actually put on a whole outfit, like all 6 pieces, and be able to go, okay, these are the upgrades that I'm getting for all 6 pieces. And then you can choose to equip them all right then and there. Now, they tried to explain that it's going to cost you silver only if you're removing items off the champion you're equipping. They just explained it really poorly, but yes, basically it's going to work exactly the same as if I'm equipping this piece right here. It's going to cost me silver to remove that piece. So if I try to equip, it's going to tell me that it's going to cost me 100 silver to actually equip that item. It's going to work exactly the same way in the fitting room. So just keep that in mind. But the cool part is you can look at a whole outfit and go, this is what my champ. So for instance, if you have someone like this guy here, and I want to put him in savage gear, I can actually go into the fitting room, put a set of savage gear on him, and see how it would affect his stats off to the side. So before I put him in it. So really cool feature, really looking forward to that quality of life change. All right, so the next thing that's going to come out next week, now this was not announced, this is just my guess. By everything that's being said, my guess it's coming out next week with patch 3.30, so get ready for it. And what that is our next fusion. So my guess it's going to be an old style fusion, and this is why I have surmised this information. One, it's Valentine's week next week. So, and they usually do something for the holidays, and this is one of the holidays that they do stuff on. So my guess is there will be a fusion, and if we're going by everything that they've been doing, it seems like they've been having a fusion every single month, and with this being Valentine's Day, it's going to be, it makes even more sense that they're going to have a fusion this month. And with what happened, if anyone if you haven't seen the video put out by Cirilla, which is one of the Discord Raid Shadow Legends Discord people, she put out a video talking about some of the stuff that's coming to Raid Shadow Legends. One of them being a legendary dwarf and an epic dwarf. And then she went on to mention 14 other champions. Now, if we look at the fusion before last, it was Pixnell at Christmas time. It was an old school fusion, and they had 15 new champions. They had 3 of the colors, the red, green, and blue, spirit, force, and magic, and then 4 new void champions. So, and they were all rares. And if you remember, the 3 that were the spirit, force, and magic champs, you had to get 3 or 4 copies of each one of them. And then, of course, there was the 1 of each affinity for the epics, and then Pixnell as the legendary. So with that being said, if they go in that same direction, and keep in mind, every time they bring out a legendary champion in the fusion, there's always 2 to 3 other legendaries that they bring out with it. And usually the one that is the fusion is always not as good as the others. just saying, that's the way Polarium rolls, because it's a money grab. They want you to buy, which, let's face it, all these fusions are just money grabs. They're coming out every single month because they know people are spending money to get the fusion. They know they're going to need money for they're spending money on energy, gems, etc., to make sure that they have the resources to actually get the fusion. So my guess is that they're going to have one of those style fusions. So with 14 champs coming out, 14 other champs coming out, plus the dwarf and the dwarf legendary and the dwarf epic, my guess is that dwarf legendary could or could not be the fusion, because my guess is they're going to have 3 to 4 other legendaries with that dwarf. But I would say that dwarf epic is most definitely going to be a part of the fusion. It's going to be one of the epics that will be needed to get whatever fusion they have. And then they'll probably do it like the Pixnell, where they have 3 different champs that you've got to get 4 copies of. So with that number, because I think you have to have like 21 new champs to have all different rares. So that would be 16 different rares, 4 epics, and the legendary. That's 21 total champions needed. So with only 14 being mentioned plus the other 2, that would make sense that they're probably going to do the same fusion they did in at Christmas time, where you have the three affinities that you've got to get 4 copies of. So that's just my guess. So let's take a look at some of the stuff that you can do to prepare for that. 1, save your silver, because you'll need the silver, because there'll be 2 artifact enhancement events. So keep that in mind. So save your silver. One of the other things is you can preemptively level up some champions for food. That way, when the leveling, which is to me one of the hardest aspects of the events, that and summoning are the 2 hardest for me, in my opinion. For summoning, you want to save your shards because there'll be 2 summoning events. One of them will most likely be a ×2 event, because from what they've been doing, they're doing a ×10, then a ×2, then a ×10, then a ×2. So odds are this weekend Well, since last weekend was a ×2, this weekend is going to be a ×10, which means the first weekend of the fusion will be a ×2, assuming that next week is when they bring it out. And it makes sense because it's going to be a update, 3.30 update. So, I mean, it's I mean, I would almost put money on it. I would almost put money on it that next week's going to be the fusion. So save your shards. That's going to be one of the hardest. The other hardest is going to be the champion training events. There will be 2 of them. And like I said, one way to do it is to level up your champion, because you get more points taking them up to the next rank. So getting champions to 1-star champions to level 10, 2-star champions to 20, etc. Get them ready to go to the next level. That's where you're going to get your most points. So having those ready to go is a way to prepare. The next one is for the ascending. In your one of the champion training missions, you will be able to get points by ascending, and also because it's the old school version of the fusion, that means you're going to have to ascend all the champions you're getting with the fusion. All right, so I made this chart so you can take a look at exactly what it's going to take to level up all your champions for a old school fusion. So it's going to take 40 lesser potions for each of the affinities. For magic, for spirit, and void, it's going to take 40 lesser potions. For arcane, it's going to take 80 because, well, you're using arcane for all of them, so it's obviously going to be more. Now remember, you're only leveling them to level 40. So old school fusions, your rares are only going to level 40. So these numbers are based on your rares going to level 40, max 40, and your epics going to level 50. So this is what this is based on. This does not count the legendary, but I did put the information for the legendary in here in case you wanted it, so for future reference, whatever. So with that in mind, let's go on. The greater potions, you're going to need 36 greater potions for each affinity, the magic, force, spirit, and legendary, and you'll need 108 arcane. And if you decide you want to go ahead and ascend your legendary, it's going to be 5 more arcane on top of that. Now for your superior potions, you're going to need 6 of each affinity. So the magic, force, spirit, and void. And if you decide you want to level up your legendary, it's going to take an additional 21 to fully ascend the legendary of whatever color that legendary may be. And then your arcane potions will be 12 superior arcane potions with an additional 15 if you decide to level and ascend your legendary. So I'll leave that up so you can take a look at it for a second here while we continue talking. So basically what you're going to want to do is go ahead and start farming your keeps for this next week as the keeps open up. Go ahead, any extra energy you may have, go ahead and start farming those till you get those extra potions so you're ready to go. That way, because you don't want to get into a situation where you're in the last week and you're struggling to wait on the keeps to open up so that you can get the potions that you need for that fusion. All right, so let's continue on. Event that's going to happen is going to be your keeps, or not your keeps, sorry, your dungeons. Now that, I mean, there's no real way to to prepare for that other than don't spend any free energy that that Polarium gives you, like our free pack that we get every single day, that we've been getting every single day, usually has a full energy fill up in it. Don't use those. Don't wait until you get the events that comes up for the dungeons before you use that. That way you can use that energy for that kind of thing. Another thing you can do to prepare is when you're coming in here, make sure you buy all your mystery shards, because this could help you round out your shards when you're doing your summoning. It could, I mean, you only get one point per mystery shard, but that could get you to your next reward, giving you the reward that you're looking for. So keep that in mind. That's another way to prepare and get ready for a summoning event as well. So, but other than that, your arenas events are really simple and typically don't need any extra anything, and you can usually do those with your daily refills. So I'm not sure I would worry about the arena. So I don't know. That's pretty much it for this video. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Do you guys think that I'm crazy, that there's no possible way that there'll be a Valentine's fusion next week, or do all the clues and everything point in that correct direction? So let me know in the comments what you guys think, and if you like the video and you want to see more, hit the like and join the Hive by hitting the subscribe button, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.